Yo, 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 it's Our Lifestyle, the podcast. It's ODB, and I'm back with another mini Truckin Magazine flip through. This time, we're on issue number 14 of the famed magazine. Again, as I've said in all my other videos, if you love what we do here, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and oh, by the way, search your favorite podcast app for Our Lifestyle Podcast. We are a mini Truckin inspired podcast, but we cover many topics from everything from 80s, 90s, a little bit of culture, of course, BMX, time and time again, sometimes skateboarding as well. So let's jump right into this issue. And as we do, I want to thank Rose Metalworks for this awesome piece that he did for us recently. It was presented to us at the Spark Show up in Tennessee. Of course, my dad, who's no longer with us, says the famous opening, Our Lifestyle, the podcast with ODB and the Mayor, the little nod there. And he does some amazing work. His wife has passed away, and he's found passion in doing some of this bead rolling. So check out Rose Metalworks on Instagram or Facebook. Really, really good dude. All right, so you have Edward Stein's Toyota. This is shot by Frank Hamilton, which is the first time he's getting credit for basically a cover. You got the Boyd wheels, kind of a famous, more rare issue. I mean, I don't see this issue too often. You got a bike on the cover, which I think is awesome. You got the tilt bed, kind of what Steve Stillwell at one point had mentioned, kind of as an X marks the spot. Pretty cool photo set up there with the chick and Edward sitting in the truck. We've got some cool comments on these. Everybody from saying keep them up, keep doing them. And we appreciate everyone that's continued to basically check back here and turn on notifications. So you got pretty much a mint copy here, X-Tang. We're used to seeing that. Some of these ads you'll see kind of over and over again throughout the issues, especially the early days. You can imagine ads weren't changed that often. I mean, I remember even into the later years, you'd see the same ads forever. All right, Kimberly Merritt gives the nod of approval as Rod Taylor cruises streetwise, a hot rod Toyota mini truck owned by Edward Stein. And then photography was Frank Hamilton, again, first cover he shot, which I know that he shot the next one as well, which we'll get to that in the next video. Neon Nightmare, that thing is crazy. And mini trucking. I should note here that this is July 91, volume 5, number 4. Numbering system is screwy, but that's for the record. That way you have it. All right, so more ads. Here you got the editorial. The show appeal of performance customizing. And we recently dropped our episode 202 on the podcast, and we had McCurdy on. So OG, he worked alongside Jesse James. He worked on Monster Garage, Monster House. He also worked at Totally Polished on the famous two-door Excursion. So we're always trying to bring a cool perspective, and that's the key to tuning in to the podcast via your favorite podcast app. All right, so 29 years ago, August 25th, and I believe this was the 5th annual. I think the first year was 86, Cow Truck Jamboree. And I believe in this issue, we'll get to it, that there's actually coverage from one of the years, which would have been the previous year. Window tint and the wall, so obviously many of us remember getting pulled over and cited for too dark a window tint. I think that's still an issue these days. Superdome, something new in convertible tops from Mavron Inc. Those things are kind of a sought after mod. Some of those things that are real hard to find become pretty sought after. Okay, Roger Rabbitized, little spinoff of Roger Rabbit. And you got Jeff Murphy, Las Vegas 88 Toyota. Really, radical truck here. Pretty cool feature. And this one was done by BMC, Brian McCormick. Pretty cool wheel ad. A lot of black and white, as we've talked about. The original, check that out. The Texas Tail. Texas Tails, don't settle for the imitation. So here you go, Streetwise. And you got Frank Hamilton there with the credit. Really, really awesome mini truck. Boyd wheels, 15-inch BFGs. Many of you remember, it was such a cool tailgate. Many of you remember that 15s were huge for many, many years. They were considered like, you know, having 15s were the stuff. And then, of course, 16s came out and so on and so forth. It just kind of continued to creep up from there. And now you have shops in the U.S. that are body dropping trucks on 30s. Imagine back in the day having a 15 and saying, oh yeah, eventually we're going to have 30s. People would think you're like from another planet. Such an awesome mini truck. Really deserved to be on the cover. A lot of cool mods and clean paint. Really, really nice truck. But yeah, wheels continue. I don't know if they'll ever stop, man. I remember when people were going, okay, 24s are perfect on full-size trucks. All right, so here you have Neon Nightmare. And this thing is crazy. If you look at the door mod, I don't think I've ever seen one of those in person. I know a few trucks have done the crazy kind of gull wing doors. And you have Dave, Grawe, Silvis, looks like Illinois, 84 Toyota SR5. Awesome mini truck. And got to give a nod to all the people that worked at these publications and put in the hard work. You know, that's something we really preach on our podcast, that we really appreciate when people do give photo credit and things like that, because a lot of folks have put in a lot of time over the years. I mean, really their entire careers to create this content. So we always try to, you know, give a nod and give due respect to people like Brian McCormick. This Las Vegas Cruiser is 100% balls out bad, strip teaser, and may not be your favorite in terms of the paint, but man, it's got the stance right. The wheels are awesome. Dude, I'd rock this every day, man. Of course, got the bucket seats all keyed up. More ads, Godfather Customs. Would love, again, to talk to Hal at some point. Get him on. New Orleans Show Stopper. So Jay Silva, New Orleans, Louisiana. Just another awesome truck. 88 Mazda B2000. Those mirrors, though. I was never a huge fan of those mirrors, but the nostalgia is kind of like, I could do it these days. Mo Better Flow. More ads. Of course, Texas Wings. Here you go. VW and Mini Truck Show. And drags. Back in the day. Shirts. Truckin, Mini Truckin. Check that out. It's crazy. Shirts back in the day. $10, you know. Pretty cool. All right, so Full Moon Ranger. A show truck for the dirt. 83 Ford Ranger. Super popular trucks back in the day. Where I grew up, there were a lot of people that had those. It seemed. Pretty cool Toyota right here. And then, of course, you got the tow rig. The old school. Old body style. Pro Solo Toy. So this is pretty cool. I was looking at this the other day as I was kind of preparing for this one, and you got Tony Mashburn of Carlton, Georgia, 88 Toyota. At first, when I first look at that truck, I don't know why, from the cab back, I think of an S10. I don't know if it's the mirror or what, but pretty cool stuff. Here you got the Southern Street Machine Association presents Mini Truckin'. Back in the day, Pigeon Forge. We know that Pigeon Forge is really the mecca for a couple of shows. This is pretty awesome. Recreation area. I was reading this just the other day. The Truck Recreation Center, TRC, can be used as extra storage. Imagine pulling up to the scene with that bad boy right now. People would be like, what the but you'd be the only MFer around with that, that's for sure. And then it would be like, damn, I gotta get me one. All right, Cherry Bomb. Here's an 88 Isuzu, as I famously call them, Isuzus. Amigo, Frank Hamilton there with the photography, really bitchin' truck to take. That's a Travis Nowak word, bitchin'. He loves that word. I drove an Amigo for a while, and actually I really have almost no photos from that time period. It's insane because we didn't have camera phones. It's just insane that I don't really have any photos. My buddy owned the Amigo for a long time, and for me to get my S10 off the road, I bought that thing as a daily driver. It was static dropped, and it was pretty ratchet. One day I'll find some photos maybe that he has of it, and I'll share them. And it was a purple. It was a purple Amigo. I haven't talked about that much, but it was fun. All right, you got the minivan. What? Minivans weren't too big in mini trucking. Now, Astro vans and stuff, I don't consider those really minivans. I mean, they're mini, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, but I always kind of considered them not a full-size van, but not a mini truck either. They were kind of in a category of their own. And to me, no better vans of that category than an Astro or GMC Safari. I know our friend Chuck Dog, he's got his, and he's on the rise. He's a good dude. Shout out to Chucky down south, hustling. Check that out, 6 issues for $14.95. And then Truckin was a little bit more expensive. Obviously, I have many. Recently I talked about, I have many of, I said the 90s. I meant the Truckin Magazine. I have a ton of those. I started collecting those in the 90s with my own issues, and then started purchasing them on eBay around 2000, trying to collect them. And there's so much gold in there because they were a sister publication. You know, you had features that were shared. You had similar show coverage. You had mini trucks on the cover. You name it. Here you go. Another mini truck show. Getting to the end, y'all. Okay, Superdome. Again, there's one feature that comes to mind that was on the cover that really highlighted the Superdome. I know a couple trucks out there still have them, which I think is awesome. Then you got the back. This company, I don't know, comment if you've ever bought anything from this company, but it's Chroma, I believe it is, Chroma Graphics. They had the scene on lock back in the day. I mean, I don't know many companies that were selling graphics like these, but the Lumina van, one of the most ugly vans ever, that and the Aztec. Remember when that thing first came out? But a pretty cool ad, good product placement for them. You know, not my style, of course. Many of us would say, hell no. And then there you have the cover. So Frank Hamilton, we'll get to issue 15 soon, but I wanted to close this one out by saying, if you are a mini trucker or you're into the scene or you're an enthusiast or showgoer, try to make it to SlamFest 29. That is the 10th and 11th of October. It's here in the awesome state of Florida, sunny Tampa, Florida. And again, it's the 10th and 11th. It's an amazing show. The team and the club, Mini Madness, they put the show on for a very, very, very long time. And it's because of showgoers that continue to come out. So come on out, support the scene, and come to SlamFest 29. And that is going to be the 10th and 11th here in Tampa at the Florida State Fairgrounds. Look up Mini Madness Inc. on Instagram. Or you could Google Mini Madness Inc. SlamFest, and it will take you to their website. You could pre-register for the show there. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this flip through. Subscribe, leave a comment, click the bell notification, follow us on your favorite podcast app. You could search OLP or Our Lifestyle, the podcast. We're also now on Amazon Music. We got stickers on our website. Look at that, ballistic. Yeah, we even got the hoverboard. Shout out to Rose Metalworks. We appreciate you guys out there. Stay on the ride. guys. We got you. Peace.